Hey gang, welcome to Season 4, Episode 2 point... well, let's see, Episode 2, Part 1.5. That's what I want to call it. This is my supplemental episode where I tell you about the upcoming fall TV schedule and other things. A few friends of mine have mentioned that I should talk about it, so I will. Okay, so a few new contenders, such as Fox's revision of Sleepy Hollow, where it seems some people, like, I don't remember, I think it's like J.J. Abrams or someone is involved in this, and it seems like they have resurrected two of Washington Irving's most famous works, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Rip Van Winkle, and somehow combined them. Simply the fact that the previews make it look like Ichabod Crane is somehow like resurrected or awakened in our time to confront some kind of evil being inflicted upon the town of Sleepy Hollow. So just as far as some guy being dormant or being asleep or being dead for so many years and then coming back to fight the forces of evil. It looks gritty, it looks fun, it looks pretty awesome. I'm kind of impressed that Fox is getting the grittier shows, or the more like mind-bending shows, such as Fringe, such as new favorite The Following, which doesn't actually come back until sometime next year, probably like January, which is premiering next Monday, the 16th. Also on Monday nights, there will be on NBC The Blacklist, starring James Spader as a really notorious bad guy who manipulates the agencies into doing his bidding so they can get their hands on this list, which has all these major offenders and big criminals in the underworld that aren't really known as names. Also coming to Monday, but not until November, the new show by J.J. Abrams and the originators of Fringe. Sleepy Hollow, I'm not sure if it's J.J. Abrams or not. I'll have to look into that. But this is officially considered the new J.J. Abrams show, starring someone that J.J. Abrams used in the two Star Trek movies that played Dr. McCoy as the main character. He's a cop somewhere in the not-so-distant future who is assigned an android partner. And he comes to find out that this android is a little more human, closer to human than he could imagine such a partner being. It's called Almost Human. The trailer's really cool. You should check it out. But as far as I can tell is that his android partner is like functioning at a higher emotional level than, say, the character from Prometheus, played by Michael Fassbender, David 8. It's very high functioning, very human in appearance and in the way he acted, but still a little too innocent of whether or not what he was doing was good or bad. But this one almost seems to have a moral compass, and I'm very interested to see what happens. I also would say that stylistically it looks a lot like the last season of Fringe did. And I'm also noticing that because of Star Trek and because of the success of the end of Fringe, even though it dropped in ratings and all that, that J.J. Abrams is really throwing out all the stops. And that's kind of awesome. A Tuesday night starting on the 24th is Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is somehow going to bridge the gap between the current slew of films as well as Avengers, like Avengers 1, Avengers 2, and all the other in-betweens that are being planned for next year, or that are already in the works, rather. And I'm very curious to see how they incorporate the return of Agent Coulson, who we seem to think died in Avengers, and also a lot of fun with superhumans and a lot more like real people, real scenarios. I mean, in a very stylized, very fictional universe, but still like a lot more like real people than demigods from Asgard and really rich millionaires that can do whatever the hell they want. So that's very interesting. Also Tuesday nights, also on ABC, The Goldbergs, which looks like, for my inkling, it looks like the 80s version of Modern Family, which I'm pretty sure that's coming back this fall, but I haven't heard anything about that yet. See, Michael J. Fox show on NBC Thursday nights looks pretty promising. It's nice to finally see him return to TV and that he has gotten to a stage in his illness where he can cope and where he can entertain again and where he can come back to the masses. And damn, that guy doesn't look any older, does he? Also, Thursday night will mark the return of Grey's Anatomy on the 26th, which, yeah, I'm not afraid to admit that I watch it from time to time. And I believe it's in like its 9th or 10th season, and that's kind of impressive no matter what kind of show you have. But it's also hospital drama type things can go on for a really long time, and you're never too worried about shifting characters and new plot lines and whatever. I mean, it's a hospital. Everything can happen all the time. Coming in October is NBC is doing a revival of Dracula as a primetime TV show, starring Jonathan Rhys-Meyers as Dracula, as far as I can tell. So it's bringing us back to the vampires are scary enough to be messed with, as opposed to the vampires are angsty teenagers, or pulp for trashy romance novels. True Blood. Okay, sorry. I haven't really given True Blood a chance, so I can't say one way or the other if my treatment of that is fair. But I did read a couple of the original books by Charlaine Harris, and they're kind of atrocious. No offense, Charlaine, because you're rolling the dough, and I'm proud of you. But really. And I would also say that later this month, not TV shows, but 2 movies come out on the 27th that I am very excited about. The new Ron Howard film Rush, starring Chris Hemsworth, star of Thor, as a European race car driver who has ambitions of grandeur and lots of really high stakes, edge of your seat, whoa, car crashes, explosions, whatever. It looks really gritty and awesome, and I'm not really a fan of race cars. But yeah, still good. Also, the new film Joseph Gordon-Levitt stars in, directs, and wrote, John, which seems to poke fun at stereotypes about men and women and relationships and everything else. And I'm very, very excited about that. And since I mentioned the movie Rush, starring Chris Hemsworth, also fair to mention that I am gearing up for November's release of Thor 2: The Dark World, starring Christopher Eccleston as the villain. Speaking of him, same month, Doctor Who 50th Anniversary Special, starring John Hurt and David Tennant and Billy Piper and of course Matt Smith and Jenna Louise Coleman. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, really awesome. Really, 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 really awesome. And that's all I really have to say right now, but stay tuned. I'll give you some more gems. Keep it real. Peace.